Just like that, we are now live from just to the north of Jefferson City, Missouri. I saw a tornado here at this same location back in on Easter Sunday back in April. We had a little bit of a supercell right here that we were looking at just to the north of Jeff City. But had a little supercell we were looking at just to the north of Jeff City. But I don't think that's going to be the play. I think it's a little bit too cold up here. I think that storm coming into Jeff City right now is going to be our area of interest. So we're going to go ahead and turn around and drive back down to Jeff City. We're probably going to get into some rain here. But hope everybody's having a great weekend so far. It's Saturday afternoon here. This setup, interestingly enough, the Storm Prediction Center didn't even put out a tornado risk for this setup today. Although I'm pretty firm in my belief that it needed a tornado risk, and I think there is a tornado risk today in central Missouri. And otherwise, I wouldn't be chasing if I didn't think there was a chance for a few tornadoes today. So I tend to believe that we could have some sneaky tornado potential here from Jefferson City all the way over to St. Louis, maybe just more especially south and west to St. Louis. And then eventually as these storms get over towards the Mississippi River, they will run out of once again, welcome in everybody, and we're going to have a rough It's going to be a rough day with roads. It's going to be a rough day with service. We're in the Ozarks, so I mean, it is what it is. We'll have trees and hills, and we'll have to get pretty lucky when we get a view. We'll have to get lucky to get a view. We'll have trees, hills, all the above, bad service, so we're going to need a little bit of luck on our side, and I really feel pretty solid today about possibly getting a tornado or two in the next few hours. And I don't really care if the Storm Prediction Center has a risk or not. I do my own forecasting, and that's kind of what I go off of, is my own forecasting. We're going to hit some rain right here at some point as we go into Jeff City, and then we'll get back out ahead of these storms. These storms aren't moving like tremendously fast, but they're also not moving slow either. So they're not moving tremendously fast. They're not moving that slow either. They're probably moving 35 miles an hour. But we really, the radar is a little bit, the storms are looking a little bit too linear right now. So they're a little bit too lined out. We need some of these storms to kind of break off from each other. So we need these storms to kind of break up into like individual supercells. And right now they're trying to do that. It looks a lot less linear than it did about 15 minutes ago. So I do think as we get into better wind shear later on, I think these storms will try to break apart. I do think these storms will break apart. But I'm watching this one to the southwest of Jefferson City. I'm headed towards it right now. I think that's going to have the best potential throughout the day, at least in the next few hours, and we'll see what happens. I don't love how linear these storms have been so far, but I've seen these same kind of setups do the same thing before, where it looks all linear or whatnot, and then all of a sudden you just randomly start getting, a little bit of a break between storms, and then you just randomly will get tornadoes. So this is an MCV tornado setup, and MCV stands for mesoscale convective vortex. So that's a load of words to say, but sometimes those MCV setups will give the storms a little bit of extra spin. MCV is kind of like a mini surface low. So you have surface lows, and then you can also have low pressure created by previous thunderstorms. Thunderstorms will get low pressure spin usually on the northwestern side of the storm complex, and that low level spin will turn into an MCV. And then if the environment sets up right ahead of the MCV, you could get storms the next day. So this MCV is actually from Nebraska the previous day. So this MCV started in Nebraska last night, and it's made its way all the way down here to central Missouri. And tomorrow this MCV is going to be over on the Pennsylvania-Maryland border. And it's going to provide a tornado threat for the DC area and I believe Roanoke, Virginia. Going to have a tornado risk tomorrow because of this MCV that's going to move all the way over to Virginia and southern Maryland. So we're going to have a lot of this today, hills, trees, and we're just going to have to do our best to be able to stay close onto the storm and get a view of things. It's the one thing about, chasing out here. It's like, okay, even if you get a tornado, even if you get a tornado to drop, can you see the tornado? That's the question. You can get a tornado to drop, but the question is, can you actually intercept the tornado because of the terrain and the road network? That's harder. That's easier said than done. So and it's going to get really bad once we get south of 44. So initially we're going to be north of I-44 here, and then eventually these storms will move south of 44. I mean, depending on how the storms are and how bad the terrain is, I'll have to figure out if I want to keep going or not. But we're headed back into Jeff City, and you can see this rain. Look at this rain shaft right ahead of us. Look at this. This is a severe warned thunderstorm right here. It's warned for, I believe, 60-mile-an-hour wind. But look at this line right here. Or road network south of Jefferson City isn't horrible, and the terrain is okay. But really, once you get south of Rolla, once you get towards Rolla or St. James or any of those areas southwest of St. Louis, it gets pretty bad. It does get pretty bad. We'll pick up some heavy rain here as we move through Jeff City, and then we'll get out of it pretty fast. You can see the thunderstorm right here. Look at this storm right here, right through Jefferson City, Missouri, the capital of the great state of Missouri. We're on the north side of the river right now. It's going to be coming into Jeff City soon. I'm liking the look of these storms just a little bit better. So we'll see how they develop in the next few hours, but I'm liking the look of these storms a little bit better. We're going to get out ahead of them. I don't think they're ready to tornado quite yet. I think in the next hour or so, we could have a better tornado threat. So I'm going to get a little bit ahead of these things and get my position on them. And oh my gosh, really heavy rain is about to hit us right here. I can see it coming across the river. The other side of the river is it's pouring right now. So we're about to get hit pretty hard here with some rain and some wind. I can see it coming any second now. Here we go. Any second now, we're about to get smoked. rain wasn't that heavy. I drove in much worse last night. We just passed the Capitol building here. Emo's Pizza. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think that's a staple of this area, Missouri. We're getting a good car wash right now here in this heavy precipitation. Wow, it's busy. It's busy out here today. There's a lot of cars, a lot of traffic. A lot of traffic out today. I'll probably head back home tonight after this chase is over, and I'll end up chasing somewhere tomorrow. I'll end up chasing somewhere tomorrow. There's a Capitol building right under that stoplight there. There it is. Oh, can't see it good in the rain, but there's the Capitol building. So I'm just gonna have to get back out ahead of this thing and follow it. I do like how it's starting to look. It's looking a little bit better here. It's looking better on radar than it did half an hour ago. We still have a ways to go until we get some tornadoes. If we get tornadoes, we still have a little bit to go, but it looks better on radar today. It looks better on radar right now than it did a little bit earlier. A little bit less sloppy. My location is actually working today. Yesterday, I don't know what the heck was wrong with my location. Kept saying I was in Liberal, Kansas, and I was in Colorado, and it's like kept saying I was in Kansas. So, but today it seems to be working fine. Hopefully the stream runs good today, guys. I apologize about yesterday. I had home internet issues. That's something that I need to get figured out here. Is these internet problems that I've been having, and I got my whole stream figured out, and then once I get the stream figured out, now I have internet problems. It's like it never ends. But this storm got severe thunderstorm warned, and they did say a tornado was possible in the severe thunderstorm warning, so they did give it a tornado possible tag. There's the Capitol building right up there. Ooh, I needed to turn right. Shoot, I should have turned right there. Okay, I can we'll just get back. Guess we're taking a stroll around Jeff City today. Guess we're taking a stroll around Jeff City right now. There's the Capitol right in front of us. On the left there. I've been inside of the Missouri State Capitol one time. I've been there one time, and it's definitely not the most impressive state capitol, but it's not. Can I not turn around right here? But it's not. I mean, it's pretty cool still. So. I've been to Texas's as well, and I think the one in Texas is much cooler than the one in Missouri, but, you know, everything's bigger in Texas, so I guess that does make sense. Let's get onto the right. My goodness, man, my navigation through this little town. To be honest, I just wasn't paying attention to my road network, but, you know, it wants me to turn. See, is anyone behind me? No one's behind me? No, let's get a turn. Let's just go. Okay. now it wants me to turn it. Instead of turning that light, it wants me to turn here. So, oh my goodness. We got to get back out ahead of this storm. We will pretty easily, but I am curious to see how stuff performs today, if the tornado threat actually materializes or not. Because sometimes with these kind of setups, you just never know. A lot of times they don't do anything, but every now and again you'll get a surprise tornado threat with them. I mean, I've chased one of these setups before, just like this one, and it was probably like one of the worst looking like chases I've ever had. It sucked. And then out of the blue, this tornado like pops out of the rain, and it's the most gorgeous tornado ever. It was also in Missouri as well, interestingly enough. Okay, I just get to this road. I'm going to stay on this road for a while. So, but you know, goes to show you, sometimes you just never know. Like sometimes it could look really bad, and then all of a sudden a storm decides to get its act together, and before you know it, you have a tornado. So you just kind of have to take it, you know, play it by ear with these kind of setups. That one to the north, the one that we left, it looks like it's going to attempt to do something. Hopefully that one isn't the one that produces. It might be. I just thought it looked way too cold up there, and it probably is too cold up there. So it was probably the right call to go south of the river. If there wasn't a river here, then I would have been able to just, you know, stick on that storm if I wanted to, and then go south. But I had to make a choice because the next crossing on the Missouri River was probably another 40 miles down the road. So I had to make a quick choice. There. I decided to head south. But if you're just now tuning in, we're in Jefferson City right now, and I'm going to try to get, at some point, look at the chat and read some chat, but it's obviously I'm not going to be able to while I'm driving and chasing like this. Today's probably one of those days where I'm going to be more focused on having to drive and navigate the road network because of the area that we're in and the speed of these storms. It's not like I could just sit there and look at the storm for an hour in one spot. So I'll try to read the chats, but it's going to be difficult for me to. But thank you for tuning in, everybody. Oh, these roads are not good. These roads are very wet, very wet. Could easily hydroplane here. Easily could hydroplane. So we're gonna work to get out ahead of these things, and then once we're out ahead of them, we'll see if they start to spin up anything. Pretty soon we're going to get out of this stuff here. Pretty soon we'll be out of this. But we can see the day. I can see the daylight ahead of me. So we're almost out of this rain here. I can see the daylight ahead of me. We're almost there. So close. headed just to the east of this storm to get in position out in front of it. I drove, yesterday I was chasing in Colorado and Oklahoma and the northern Texas panhandle, and I drove all night long back home. And then I got home, slept for, a good 5 hours, and then I headed out this direction. So basically my last 24 hours has been driving, or it has been chasing for about 5 or 6 hours, driving, sleeping for like 5 hours, and then driving again, and now we're chasing. So it's been quite the adventure the last 24 hours, and I'm gonna have to drive home tonight and then get some sleep, and then we'll have another chase tomorrow, probably in Oklahoma. I guess I wouldn't rule out maybe Texas, Missouri, or Kansas. There's always a possibility. But my goodness, look at the glare on the window. I gotta get the window a little bit more wet. I don't know what that glare is about. Oh, that's weird. Well, that's not ideal. That wasn't there yesterday. We really beat the car up the last couple of days here. A lot of the roads that we were chasing on were quite muddy. Yesterday, I almost probably got the car stuck about 4 times, but I didn't get it stuck. If I had my Nissan Sentra, I would have got stuck. I would have got stuck 5 different times if I was able to get stuck that many times. But I would have got stuck 1 time and it would have been over for me. But since I did have since I do have the Honda CR-V now, it's much better. So that's part of the reason I got a bigger car, is so I could navigate those dirt roads a little bit better. Yeah, right now these storms kind of look like rain wrapped and very disorganized right now, but it is very early, and I can see inflow. I can see some inflow starting to stream into these things. So they were outflow dominant maybe 30-40 minutes ago, and I can see some inflow starting to stream into these storms, and there's a little bit of rotation on them as well. There's also another supercell down by St. Thomas to our south that we're going to want to keep an eye on, because it could be that one. Could be that storm down there. We're getting some structure now too on these things, and right now the storm mode isn't quite right. A lot of the models were showing mostly supercells, so for these to kind of be more line segments, it's a little bit unexpected, but I think that they're still kind of breaking up, and I think we'll get a couple of supercells going here. It actually looks like we're starting to break into semi-discrete storm mode, so that probably should just stopped right there. That would have been a good spot. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go to the next spot and get off. Or can I even get off of this highway at this point? Yeah, I can get off up here. Okay. Well, that's why you got to be careful taking interstates when you storm chases. You got to know where your exits are, and you always got to have an exit in mind. But I can see the inflow. I can see the inflow starting to stream into this supercell here. So, I don't know if we'll get a tornado today. We might. We may not. Once again, I think there is a tornado risk, regardless of what the Storm Prediction Center thinks. But clearly there is a tornado rotating, so it is. And if them guys give me like 2 minutes. Literally give me 2 minutes here, and I'm gonna get out ahead of them, and we'll get a view of them here. Literally give me just a couple of minutes here. We will get a shot at these. We got a nice supercell now. Okay, we have a supercell taking shape with rotation now. So like I've been talking about, the storm mode wasn't very favorable, but the more I look at things, guys, and I kind of look behind me as well, the more I look at things and I see the inflow starting to really feed into this guy, the more I'm thinking, okay, we definitely have a tornado risk on this storm starting to pick up just a little bit here. I think any tornadoes today would be weaker, on the weaker side. I think that's expected today. So not expecting anything strong today, but you never know. But I'd say a couple of weak tornadoes are absolutely possible on these storms here. There's also a lightning uptick. Here we go. I'm gonna get off on this exit right here, and we'll get a view of these storms right over this river. Oh wow! We got a big structured supercell now here. We got a big structured supercell behind me. Hold on, let me get on these roads here, and then we'll get the camera panned over. Nice little area of some farmland out here in the middle of the Ozarks. And there we go. We can get a view of this thing now. Wow, what a supercell that's taking shape here. My goodness. This is actually impressive, guys. I'm excited to pan the camera here in just a second. This is actually quite impressive here. So this is impressive for today's standards, for sure. My goodness. Okay, we're gonna watch this thing. We're gonna be able to watch this thing come in here. Perfect spot to look at it too. Wow, look at this supercell popped up right here. My goodness. Quite the storm. Get out for a second. We got a structured supercell here taking shape right here. You can see there's a lot of, it's still pretty outflowy over here on the left side, but you can see there's some inflow really picking up there on the right. And welcome in, everybody. How's it going, everybody? What's up? Who do we got? Freddie had to plug a flat tire. Oh no, your car's cooked. That's not good. Chris, welcome in. Bill, Chappie, Jess, Deborah, how's it going? Justin, Chris. Oh, I already read. Oh wait, do we have two Chris's in here? Howard. Welcome in, everybody. You can see the cracks at the top of my windshield there. But we got a supercell right here, and it's got some rotation on it right now. Nothing too convincing, but got some rotation just to the east of Jeff City here. Make sure to like the stream, everybody. We're almost to 150 likes, and subscribe to the channel. We're getting close to 8K here on this channel. Hope everyone's doing all right. This is a rare sight here. Usually you don't get this good of a view in this part of the country here. So we got to take in the good view while we have it. So we will hold this view that we have right here for as long as we possibly can here, and then it looks pretty. It's pretty rain wrapped in there. So hopefully, if we do get a tornado, we're able to see it. It looks like it's becoming more outflow dominant now. It did have a nice supercell structure about 5-10 minutes ago, but it's becoming a little bit more outflow dominant here. So we're gonna have to watch how this thing progresses. And now it's just more of a shelf cloud, excuse me. Oh man, I'm exhausted, I'm tired. Got a cough. Yeah, it's turning into more of a shelf cloud right now, but well, it's because we have multiple storms here. I think one of these is still kind of a supercell, and we have multiple storms here, and these storms are moving quick, so we're gonna have to get in a better position soon. Yeah, as far as roads go, they're pretty sparse here, so we might try to stay close to this thing and get a view of it close on here. I could take this road south. I think that might be my best. Yeah. I don't have much to my east here to follow that little supercell, so we got a pretty big road hole up here, honestly, until Bell. Just how it's gonna be today. Road situation won't be ideal. Yeah, right now, we got a supercell kind of spinning up there, and then the rest of this line is pretty outflow dominant, so we'll move in just a minute, and we'll move in just a second and get to the south. At least we have some good structure for now, and we'll see how these things evolve. I do think the wind shear is going to increase just a little bit, so we're going to have a chance to... Some of these storms will have a chance to tighten up as the wind shear gets going, and a lot of spin on the front side of this line here. Lots of spin on the front of this line. It's a lot of vorticity and spin on this storm. But I'm going to drop south because we have multiple storms here. See, we have one to our north. That's the one that looked like it was going to go in, but now we have one south of Taos that's trying to get going too. So we're just going to get out ahead of them in just a second, and then we'll see what happens here. And man, straight up there. Look at that spin right there. A little bit of spin right above us on the leading edge. What if it just dropped a tornado? Got a little bit of spin up there. All right, guys, we're gonna reposition on this thing here. We're gonna get south here. Get in a better position on this storm. We're just going to get in a better position, and we'll see which one of these storms tries to become dominant, and then whichever storm becomes dominant, we will go get. So got a whale's mouth right now. Coming over top of us. Man, that supercell sure looked good for just a second. Man, that supercell sure looked great for a second, and then it all fell apart very fast. I mean, for a couple minutes there, it looked like it was really wrapping up and starting to rotate. And I think based off radar, it was definitely starting to get going, and then it kind of just lost itself. So Surely something will get going again at some point today. Surely something will get going here at some point. My windshield cracks have expanded from the hailstorm that we were in a few weeks back. They're bigger now. They're bigger now. They were very small, but they've gotten a lot bigger. They've probably grown at least a few inches, so I'm gonna have to monitor that situation. Well, some parts of the crack haven't grown at all, but other parts. Tomorrow there's a big risk for wind. Big time risk for wind tomorrow. Could be a derecho, which is a pretty substantial windstorm over a large area that tracks for a long time. But derechos don't happen a ton. I mean, they're pretty serious business whenever you have it. It's pretty serious business when you have a derecho. I love the Ozarks here. It's very pretty, but it's also very difficult to chase in. I was hoping today would end up more north of I-70, or I was hoping maybe the whole thing sped up and would be on the Illinois side of things, but neither one of those things happened. And here we are stuck south of I-70 in the Ozarks with a bad road network, and you got these little towns here. When you get into these little valleys, you get these towns down here. So we'll just have to get ahead of these storms here and see what they do. Just bear with me here, and we'll get back into the thick of it. Nice little town here in this little valley. I've never been in this area ever. I've never been down here. I've been through Jeff City, but I've never been just to the south and east. No idea what it's like down here. I'm assuming it's like most of the rest of Missouri. But I've never actually been through any of these towns, so I wasn't quite sure what to expect road-wise and terrain-wise, but this is about what I'd expect here. Right now, these storms are just struggling because there's too many of them, one, and then the lapse rates aren't too great today. That makes it tough for stuff to get super strong. Your lapse rates are how quickly the air cools with height, and the lapse rates, at least in the mid-levels, aren't that great. The low-level lapse rates are a little bit better, but they're nothing fantastic. So we'll see how this progresses here in the next few hours. These storms, the problem is there's too many of them right next to each other, and then the lapse rates, of course, they just can't get us strong enough. They can't get strong enough, but it doesn't take much with a setup like this. It doesn't take much if we can just get a couple of supercells. It doesn't take much. think we're a little bit too far south now. We'll have to take some sketchy roads, guys, at some point, so I'm not looking forward to doing that, but we'll have to take some sketchy roads here. Just let me get a little bit further south, and then we'll get back onto these things here. Once we turn a different direction, we'll get a little bit more of a view, but like I said, this is just how it is down in this area of the country. It's tough to get a view of these storms. The spot that we had about 15 minutes ago was very nice, and that's not something that you see all the time down here. So. These curves here. All these curves here. That armadillo on the road. There's a lot of armadillo in this area. You know, yesterday it was crazy. Yesterday, driving through Kansas, Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas, I saw 3 different coyotes. I saw 3 coyotes cross the road, not at the same time, but like individually at different times of the day. So like that, I mean, that's pretty wild. I don't know. I've maybe seen 3 or 4 coyotes ever, you know, out and crossing the road. But I saw 3 just yesterday. Just yesterday, 3 coyotes. They were out. One of them just skipped right across the road in front of me. The others were kind of on the side. But that's not something you see too often, is coyotes, like that many coyotes like that. And also this time of year, there's a lot of box turtles. A lot of box turtles out and about here. In a minute, we're gonna probably turn to the east and get a better, maybe a little bit better of a look here at some of these storms. I'm going to try to find a spot to just park. We're going to take a slide. Trying to get in some better position here. It's not easy here. Not easy out here. Lots of trees. This storm just to our north here, I still think it can wrap back up and become that big old supercell that it was a minute ago. I can kind of see it pulling back in some inflow. I don't know what happened to it. I think the storm, I really think the storm to its south, I really think the storm south shut out and messed it. I think it was looking good and that inflow going, and then the storm just to the south probably shut out some outflow and got it all messed up. But I can see a wall. I can see, I think a wall cloud is trying to form again. And one could do, I think, there's probably legit potential somewhere in RB for things to really upscale. It's kind of going to the line. It's that I don't know if that's after that, but the look at our storm. It looks a little interesting than it did 15 minutes ago, whenever it kind of fell apart. It's trying to get its back. Let's see the supercell there on the right. That's I don't know. I don't know if it's connected to the string. I can actually see it, but I have to step that looks like I have a little bit better connection now, but I still might be out connection. So I'm going through a rough. I'm getting brief glimpses at this storm. I'm trying to find a spot to pull off. The storm looks a lot. It's a lot better than just a second ago. So if I can find a spot to get a view of this, I'd love to do it. There's also on the trees. It's a lot more organized than it did. We have my gosh, I think I might have connection again. Sorry guys, this is a rough part of the country for internet connection where it's going to be very spotty, so we're just going to have to live with it. Our storm that we're on is kind of weakening now. It had a nice wall cloud. I was trying to show you guys. Actually, it still has a nice wall cloud with a lot of rotation. But I think overall it's starting to weaken a bit. I was trying to show you guys what it looked like, but I could not even get a view of it. I could get it once I did get a view of it. I didn't have service, but I did get a good view of this storm here, and I didn't have any service to show you guys, so I can get a good view of it again. And then there's another storm that I want to watch to our southwest that looked a lot more robust, and that may end up becoming the storm that we want to be on. But it might just be one of those days where I guess the lapse rates are just not good enough, possibly. That's definitely, there's definitely the chance. I'm actually turn on this road right here, okay? Because I'm trying to get a view of this storm here. We should have some service here. We're at a town, we're in Bell, Missouri. Bell, Missouri. Look at these old houses right here. That might not be it. That's not a house. But some of these old houses, there's a couple old houses. That's a church back there, but we're on First Street in Bell, Missouri. I've never been to Bell, Missouri. I don't know if I'll ever be back here. Maybe. Hopefully I'm not chasing a storm here. It's not the most fun place to chase. Unless you like curves, and if you like motion sickness and curves, then I mean, hey, this is a good area to be in. No, this area is not good for chasing, but I've also seen much worse. Man, that Supercell doesn't look too bad right there, man. Oh my gosh, it really does not look too bad. It looks a lot better in person than it does on radar. I'm trying to figure out how I can get a view of this storm for you guys. I have some roads up here. I have some clearing up here. There's some farmland up here that I think I can get a view at. Let's just, fingers crossed, we stick with the service here. The storm is kind of moving a little bit towards me, and it's lost some of its rotation, but it's still got it. Yeah, so I think I can get you guys a view here. So we'll have to decide if we want to stick on this. I think we'll want to stick on this storm. Even though it has weakened a little bit, there's a chance that it kind of sprouts back up again. But we'll try to get a view here. We're gonna get a view. There should be there's a lot of trees here on my left, but there should be some more farm area up here. So for everyone tuning in, I apologize about the internet. There's not a ton I can really do about it. I do have some stuff to give me a little bit better connections, but dead end, so we don't want to keep going down this road. But what is happening? I'm looking, okay, we're looking north, huh? Wait, what? Oh, yeah, we are looking north, okay. Yes. Oh, golly. Oh, man, we're not getting a view. Okay, there's literally farm on my right and on my left. Just farmland, like cow pasture. But there's trees. There's just a line of trees on the road. So even though this is a very clear area of trees, the only trees are right on the road. So you literally cannot get a view of this storm until now. We can get a little bit of a view here. There we go. There's our storm back in there. Let me adjust. It looked a lot better a few minutes ago. You can see kind of you can see the wall cloud. The tail cloud is kind of separated now from the storm. And I think that these storms are really, really on the struggle bus with mid-level lapse rates. That's my guess. My guess is these guys just don't have enough firepower in the mid-levels. There's a lot of bugs out here, my goodness. I'm not opening the door. But there is some rotation behind those trees on the left. There is a little bit of rotation back in there. And we'll have to watch this thing. But you could definitely see it's definitely not quite as robust as it was earlier on. And then the other storm I was watching is kind of falling apart as well. So, So we're just going to watch this thing because it's going to get a little closer to us. And, well, we're going to sit here and watch it because there's not very many spots that we have, one, service, and two, a view of the storm. So there's some storms going up in New Mexico. Some stuff going up in New Mexico. That seems to be the target today, over in the high plains. I decided to take a chance on these storms here and see what they had in store. And we're just chilling right here. You can see the supercell. Look at that supercell structure. You can see, let me move this, there we go. And you see this, the updraft up there. You can see that area of rotation down there, the wall cloud, and it's blocked by trees right here. Maybe we can find a better spot to look at this thing. I'm not too sure. It's almost 5 o'clock now. Today's gone by quick. I feel like I just woke up. What the heck? It's gone by quick. The thing is, like, we're not gonna have really too many views of this storm, so that's the problem. You could try to look for a better view. I mean, I might be looking. It's gonna be tough. It's not easy. It's not easy out here. Of course, it's not easy out here, and especially when your storms are, how many miles away is a storm for us? Our storm is about, now our storm is moving east. It's about 9 miles away, so that's why it's hard to see too. But you can see that wall cloud peeking out there now. Look at that. We got a wall cloud on here. I mean, it's probably pretty weak, so, but you can see it right there over the tree line. And this storm looked a lot better about 15 minutes ago when I was trying to get you guys a view and I just didn't have any service. It did look a lot better. And that wall cloud is not doing too hot. That wall cloud is not doing too hot. Maybe I should have stayed in New Mexico and Texas. Maybe that's what I should have been doing today. Oh gosh. Maybe that was the play. What's up, everybody? New Mexico storms are Breaking Bad. Heck yeah, dude. I love Breaking Bad. That's such a good show. If you're in the chat, if you want a good show to like binge, I suggest Breaking Bad. I'm sure a lot of people have probably already seen it, but that would be my suggestion. Of course, there's hundreds of good shows out there, I'm sure, or at least dozens, but that's probably my personal favorite if I had to choose. Out of all the shows I've ever watched, I think that's probably my personal favorite, but Everywhere in Missouri's Bob's Road. This is literally Bob's Road. Everywhere in Missouri is blocked by trees. Yeah, it is. It's blocked by trees. Bro's been gone for 20 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. I can't. It just is what it is. The storms are in a spot with bad cell service. And you can see this storm is really falling apart here. You can see another storm trying to go up right there. You can see that new golly, I'm too tired. I cannot talk. You can see that new tower going up. I cannot talk. I'm so tired. I'm just driving all night. Hunter Hurley, what's up? If the St. Elizabeth, I was, I think I'm about to head to that storm. This one looked interesting a little bit ago, and so I got sucked back into it, but that might be the one. It's kind of weakened a bit here in the last few minutes. I think it's lost some of its tops, but yeah, it really blew up there for a minute, and it looks like it's weakened a bit. But that's kind of what I was thinking, Hunter. I'm in a position because I'm near Bell, so I can just drop to get to that St. Elizabeth one pretty quick. And I'm trying to figure out, it might only be a matter of time until I get over there, but we had that great-looking supercell right off the bat near Jeff City. It was looking great, picking up a lot of inflow, rotating, and then it just all fell apart. Probably because like I've said, guys, those mid-level lapse rates are not too sufficient today. So these things are really kind of struggling to be robust or stronger. I am interested in that one cell down there. My only thing is, I feel like these cells up here are closer to the MCV, and so they might have better wind shear. But that cell to the south might have better thermodynamics, or maybe it has backed winds as well. I'm not sure. It's not far from these ones, so it's probably not too much of a different environment there. Look at this new cell in front of us, going up now. You can see it poking through the clouds. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one of these storms would have a more favorable environment. Can't be right. Trying to figure this out. The thing I'm trying to look at is not, I still don't have the best service right here even, so the thing I'm trying to look at is not loading. But I want to see if this storm would have backed winds on it, but who knows. It's definitely got better rotation, and it probably looks cooler, so I think we probably should head towards that St. Elizabeth storm, and that's kind of what we were planning on doing, but I wanted to get a look at these, and we do have a new storm trying to fire up right here. This guy's going to get around me. Probably talk to me. Hello?
We were just looking for someone?
No, I was just watching these storms over here, but...
Okay.
We were just curious.
It's a dead-end road, not a lot of...
Yeah, probably not much traffic here.
Yeah. But be careful, because they do come flying in, some of our neighbors do.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
It'd probably be better back up in there.
Okay, I was about to turn around in a few minutes anyway,
Okay.
So I appreciate it though.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, this road doesn't get too many people on it probably. Look at that cell going up right there. I'll zoom in on that. That's pretty cool. My phone still says, or my stream still says I'm in Jeff City. I don't know why it keeps saying that. I'm not in Jeff City anymore. We're probably like 30 miles to the southeast, maybe 40 miles. So, I mean, we can watch this cell and see if it blows up right in front of us, but the clock's ticking if we want to try to get onto that St. Elizabeth one. Man, the rotation on that one is so much better. Stronger. That might be the one. Yeah, I think probably I don't know, guys. My gut tells me that none of these cells are it, but we'll see. The problem with that one down there is I'm curious if it's like kind of not in the better wind shear. I feel like the better wind shear could be to the north and east where we are. I got to do like a 5-way turn because this road is like almost as wide as the car. So I got to there's a ditch right behind me. I don't want to end up in there. All right, well, I think I'm going to head to the southwest towards that other storm. And maybe, I think we could get a spin-up tornado because there's a lot of 3 Cape and there's some vorticity. So, and then that one just has stronger rotation and the tops are taller. So that is probably the play there to get down towards, oh my goodness, Bob's Road. We'll probably lose service again, so just a fair warning because it's very spotty here. We'll be in and out. Probably head towards Vienna. Oh my gosh, we're gonna go through like we're about to go through a forest. So, chat, I'm telling you right now, chat, we're gonna lose service in just a minute. We're gonna go through a forest, but we're gonna try to get to this storm that looks a little bit better. So, fair warning, it's about to happen. I don't know when, in the next few minutes, I'm sure, but got to go back through this little town and then, oh my goodness, the terrain over there is quite rough. It's not great, so, man, but that thing is really rotating, so, it's a little storm, but it's rotating, and this one's weakened, so we can get there in about 25 minutes. The next half hour we'll be on that new storm, and to be determined if we have service or if we can get a view of it, but it's better than not trying at all. So we're gonna try to shoot west towards that developing storm. I guess at this point it's not developing, it is what it's, it is a storm now. So we have another cell in front of us, like right on my right. There's another little cell. We might get some nice rain from it. I have better service in this little town right here. Well, see, those storms to the southwest, they might just be in the worst, like they might not have the best wind shear. They might be kind of out of the better wind. What is this building right here on the right? What the heck? Bell Feed Mill? It's like a metallic gray. That's a crazy little building. Here we go. We're gonna get some rain here. Today was kind of a conditional setup, but there definitely was a tornado risk on these storms. And that one earlier that we had in Jeff City, man, that thing really started wrapping up for just a few minutes. The one near Jeff City earlier, and it had a nice look to it, and for whatever reason, everything just fell apart. I wonder, like I said, if it had some outflow or something from the storms to the south, and it got undercut. Maybe that'd be my best guess. And then, of course, like I've said a few different times the lapse rates aren't the best, and so that kind of means in the middle of the atmosphere, maybe 5, 6, 7 miles up, the atmosphere isn't as juiced up, so it's not as explosive as it really kind of needs to be for like a really robust storm. So the atmosphere needed a little bit more explosiveness, which can sometimes limit your storm's potential too. It can limit the potential of your storms. What's my speed limit here? It's at 60 here, so I feel like I'm going fast, but no, I'm going the speed limit. So we're gonna go check this storm out, and honestly, guys, if this storm doesn't really do anything in the next hour, then we'll have to think about what our next move is. Crap, that was my road. Sorry. My phone. I need to turn my volume up because I had my route in and I just started driving and then lost it. At this rate, we're not getting there right now. Turn my phone up. Not the ditch. Oh, we can see that other storm now over here. Look at, we got a great view of this other storm now to our north. That's the storm that we're leaving, and it's definitely trying to reinvigorate. So I wonder if it's gonna try to reinvigorate there. You can see the tops going up right there. It may. It very well may. I think it's in a more favorable position for a tornado if it does, but the problem is it's just not as strong. It's not as strong as our other storm. And it is trying to rotate again, too. Other storm just has stronger rotation. I don't really know what to do here. Because all these storms kind of look very meh. We'll have to turn around. We could easily get back over if we absolutely had to. We could get back over. But we're about to go through like a very forested area, so just bear with me here if I lose connection. I'll try to get it back as fast as possible if I even ever get it back. So I will at some point, but as you can tell, there's a lot of trees and a lot of hills, so the Wi-Fi, once we get out, this town kind of has some decent service, but once we get outside of the town, it might go bad again. Yesterday, I was chasing on the Raton Mesa all the way in the far western corner of Oklahoma Panhandle and Colorado and New Mexico, kind of where all three of those states meet up, is where I was chasing yesterday. And I shockingly had very good service. I was honestly surprised. I had very good service the whole way. Had nice service out there, and look at that, we got a little storm right there. Look at that little cell going up. You can see it has a nice base on it. That little cell right there doesn't look too bad. So if that one kind of looks okay, maybe the one we're headed to looks better. I'm gonna go with my gut here and say that these ones are the ones we should try to get onto. So my gut can be wrong, and it has been wrong before. I maybe think down to the southwest here, there's more surface heating, more. And we have good instability in the bottom kind of part of the atmosphere close to the surface, so we might be able to get a spin up here if we get a favorable storm. But the expectations are low, but you miss 100% of the shots you take. You don't miss 100% of the shots you take unless you're bad at taking shots. I said that wrong. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. That's the correct saying there. But just judging how these storms right here, like this little cell isn't even a thunderstorm yet, and it actually looks like okay. So if that little cell looks like that, then I'm going to take an inference and say that the one just to our southwest here probably looks pretty nice, at least structure. I do think we'll have some good storm structure. At the very least, tornadoes or not, we'll have good storm structure. I think. Fingers crossed. And also, hopefully we can see it, like on the stream. Hopefully you guys can see the storms. It'll just depend on how good of the internet we have down to this. That's It's a rain bomb, man. Oh no. This our storm lost its rotation. The storm that we were on earlier. Indiana, Missouri. Indiana. Well, I might have a baby over here, actually. I'm not sure. We need to get a review of it. This river is really full. That river is really high. We're in the town. Our storm's lost its rotation, or most of it, at least. It's lost its oomph. That other storm that we left is also kind of struggling, so it's not a big deal. Whichever one we're on, I'm sure, surely it's not that big a deal. But it did get some echo tops back, and we did blow up. So they aren't that tall, 30. We'll see if this storm blows back up. It could always blow back up and strengthen again. We're in Vienna, Missouri right now. And we're getting the rain from this storm right here, so we need to get back out ahead of it. Right now we're just getting rain from it. Don't really know how I'm going to stay with this storm because it's like not moving in a very favorable zone for me to keep up with it. It's a nice church right there, big old church. Getting another car wash here in Vienna, Missouri. I don't know what the population, I think it said like 400 maybe. I think 400 it said was the population here in Vienna. This storm still has rotation on it, so we're gonna try to find it. Still rotating. We just got to get out of this. We really got to get out of this rain, and then we'll be able to find it. We just got to get out of this mess here. We got people just walking out here, just raw dogging it in the rain. No jacket, no nothing. Oh boy. Yeah, we're gonna. That's the problem. Like, we just don't have we might get to intercept this storm here for a second. We will get to intercept this thing for a second, and then we're not going to have the road network to stay with it. So I don't really know what to do here. Well, we can work to get back out ahead of it, but it'll take a while. So if you're just now tuning into the stream, I really appreciate it, guys. We're kind of battling bad service and the bad terrain of the Ozarks, and I love the Ozarks, but it's not good for storm chasing. If we get out of this town and lose service, I don't know. Like, there's not much else I can do. We'll get it back eventually. I'm trying to get a view of the storm. I'm on the rainy side of the storm, so I gotta get out ahead of it. But we are. Look, it's very clear in front of us, so we're getting out ahead of the rain here. Whoa, buddy! I'm getting soaked here. Man, why is this town so busy? Why is there like, what? I've counted like 25 cars on this road. Why is this town so busy out here? Vienna, Missouri is really popping off. My goodness. But we're working here to get out ahead of this storm, and fingers crossed on the cell service here. So fingers crossed on the cell service. We got rotation that's going to go right over the road. We're going to have rotation go right over the road. I can actually see it right now. Nothing insanely strong, but we do have a little bit of rotation on this storm. I'm watching it right now. I just need to be able to turn onto this road and we'll get to see it. If there's not too many trees, which, well, it's we're in Missouri, so there might be. There's the storm right there. It's kind of a high precipitation. A lot of these storms are a little bit more high precipitation than I thought. Well, it does make sense. It does make sense why they might be. So it wasn't too unexpected, but there is a lot of moisture in the air, so that does make sense. We'll have intermittent spots where we can get in and look at the storm. So the rotation's going across just in front of me. I might just, if we have good service and we have a good spot to look, I might just let the storm hit us. Because I don't know when we're going to be able to get a good position again on it. But I should have a better view down here, I think. It's down here, I think I might have a better view. Once I get through this little forested area right here. Get through this little forested area down to this part of the road, and I think we'll be able to find a spot. I wish this road was big enough for me to pull off on. Right? That'd be nice. Oh, that's too many trees, man. That could have been a good spot, but there's trees blocking the view to the north. I have to go all the way through this part here. Hopefully we don't lose service. I'm on the edge about the service because we've lost it so many times today. Well, there's our storm, right? I mean, you guys can see the storm right there. I mean, it's right here. Like, we're right on it. There's a little bit of rotation back in there. But nothing super strong. Okay, I think I found a spot to sit here that's probably better than most of what I'm gonna find. Oh, watch it right here. Back into this little spot. Hold on. is, right in front of us, right there. We're about to get hit with the RFD. Here, it's coming. I'm right on this ditch. I gotta watch out. But there's a storm right there. There's a little bit of rotation up in there. Very broad. I'm just gonna go slow on this road, and there's not much traffic on here. I'm just gonna put the high hazards on and these people pass. There's our storm right there. You can see the rain curtains wrapping around there. See the rain curtains trying to wrap around. Kind of pulled off halfway into the grass here. See, here's the problem. I just don't know how we're gonna even like stay with this. Like, we can't stay with the storm. Like, we just don't have the roads to do it. But there's your base. There's your supercell base right there. We just do not have the roads here to stick with this thing. Oh my gosh, it is rotating. You can see it right here. We got a rotating base right there. Very broad, but very broad. But it is rotated. It's trying to become like a wall cloud, maybe. Oh goodness, I don't know where to go now road-wise. It's gonna be rough, guys. It's gonna be tough. Storm is headed right over us. You can see there on radar, look at that. That's the rotation we're looking at just to our east. No way, that storm near Owensville looks a lot better now. I probably should have stuck with that Owensville storm. Okay, well, what do we do now? That's the question. What do we do now? We could catch that Owensville storm in about an hour. We could catch that in an hour. We also could catch these again, too. I'm just going to start driving towards Rolla. I'm going to start driving towards Rolla, and we'll either catch this storm or we'll catch the other storm and see which one is looking better. But we had a broadly rotating base right in front of us there. But I'm just kind of going to head down to Rolla and just see which one of these is looking better. And then we can always blast up 44 and get in position ahead of the other storm. But it's going to be difficult. I'm going to lose service again, I'm sure, and all that, so yeah, it sucks. Look at that rain shaft. What a monster rain shaft right in front of us. That is a monster rain shaft right there. What a monster rain shaft. And that's what we're getting into right now. That's where we're driving into, is that rain shaft. You can see that. You can see the contrast between the blue sky and then the white. Pretty crazy. Crazy. And then here comes the sun. We're probably going to get a rainbow here. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. But man, that sun came so fast. Look at that, was so quick. It was so quick. Look at that sun. Oh, we got a big rainbow. Yes. Okay. We're going to get a look at this in just a second. Got a really vibrant one. Okay. I hope we can get a look at this in this town. It's right here. It's right here. This is so this is such a I've never seen such a vibrant one. This is incredible. This is incredible. This is the most vibrant rainbow I think I've ever seen. This is just incredible. Wow. Sorry about the window. I had it open. This is the most vibrant one I think I've ever seen. Gotta be. Okay, I want to find a spot where I can take the picture of the entire arc of the rainbow. But it's kind of half covered by the trees here. Wow, what the heck, man? That is right there. Okay, this might be a spot. Right up here that we can get to it. See it. I want to take a picture of the entire rainbow. Hold on, I'll get you guys a view in just a second. I think I can get a view right here. Wow. That is insane. All right, I got my picture, so I'm gonna back out of here now and get it back out of here. And this road is so busy here, man. Crazy busy here. See anybody coming? Make sure. Okay. Not in the ditch. That's not what we want to do. It's kind of going away now, just a little bit, but just a minute ago, man, that was incredible. You don't see that every day. You see rainbows all the time when you're storm chasing, but you don't see one that vibrant. There it goes again. Oh my goodness. That is incredible. That is just incredible right there. I don't even know what to say. That's the coolest thing by far I think we've seen today. I'm going to take a picture of it again here. Because that's even more vibrant than before. That's even cooler than before. Wow. That's sick. That's pretty sick right there. And it's right there in the field. Like that's where the collars start, is right there in the field. And it's reflecting off of the road. You can see it. Look at it reflect off the road. That's how bright it is. It's reflecting off of the road. That is just incredible. I don't know if you guys could see that on the street or not, but man. PDS. We got a PDS rainbow here. A PDS rainbow here following this thunderstorm that is rotating. It is rotating. Now, I guess the rotation isn't the coolest part about it, but it was rotating. can see the rainbows like the rain. This is so odd. What is happening? This is weird. This is the coolest rainbow I think I've ever seen. We're going to lose service again, though, because we're going to go back into the same spot that we were earlier. The rainbow's literally, like, in front of it. I don't know how this is possible. This is sick. This is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can see on the stream, but this rainbow is literally feet in front of us. And it's a double, too. I don't know how that's even possible. Like, how does that happen? That's crazy. Oh, no, that storm we were on earlier looks really, really nice now on radar. That's not good. We left the right storm. I should have known better. I knew it, and we left the right one. Well, hopefully it doesn't produce since we're not on it. These ones might just be a little bit behind the surface low. That'd be my guess. And those ones are in a better position. The wind shear's gotten better. Okay, we could get out to those ones out ahead by Sullivan. I don't know if we can make it in time, but we could try. Problem is we'd go all the way up to Sullivan and then they don't do anything, and then, you know. I think we have a better highway here, so we might stick with surface. This is a different one than what we were on earlier. There goes our rainbow. It's still kind of there, but man, that was so vibrant. That was just awesome. Oh no, I heard the rainbow's back. Okay, it's back. It just doesn't want to go away. Look at these storm. There's a storm right here, and you can see there's new updrafts just off to the south of the storm. We're going east here. There's new updrafts off on the south side. The rainbow's right here in the field again. What the heck? Literally in front of me. Wild stuff here. Alright guys, we're getting back into position on this thing here. We're getting back into position on this guy. We're trying to get back in position here on these roads. We have multiple different storms that look pretty good, so. It's going to be tough to intercept any of these. I've never seen a rainbow like this that's so persistent. I've never seen a rainbow like this so persistent. Never in my life. Have I seen one so persistent like this? Wow. And it's still pouring rain on us. It's crazy. Like the rainbow's still there and it's just pouring on us. It's just insane. I've just never seen anything like that. That's incredible. I like all kinds of weather, and rainbow categorizes under weather, I think. So I love rainbows. I think they're cool. I think they're fascinating. And this one was in particular, this one was a very good one. This one was a very, very good one. Sorry the feed is jumping in and out, guys. I'm in a bad area still, so the feed. The trees. Man, this looks like the plains right here. This is like the plains. Where am I at? This is like the plains right here. This is where I'd want to intercept the tornado out in this area. Right here in these little patches of farmland. We're gonna be fighting the updraft on these guys here. Alright, this road right here. we should get out of the heaviest rain here. We should get out of the heaviest rain, but we're gonna go through a rough spot, service. We're gonna go through some curvy roads, rough service area. So just beware. Just beware. Man, but that was quite incredible, that rainbow, man. That was awesome. This storm is, our supercells are still rotating at a decent clip here, so especially these 1-star east are starting to get some rotation on them now. I don't know if any of them are going to have the goods to produce, but they're going to try to produce a couple of tornadoes here. Still have a tornado risk down here by I-44. We're close to Rolla, St. James, Sullivan, Missouri, in that area. We're just core punching right now. No hail in these storms. I have not felt a single hailstone here in any of these storms. We have a moderate risk tomorrow for severe weather. I'll be chasing that moderate risk more than likely. Maybe I'll target somewhere outside of the moderate. I might target somewhere else, but I'll be chasing that general area. Oklahoma probably is the spot to be tomorrow. I would assume so. It's gonna be an interesting day to see how everything evolves. But the one thing I do know is there's going to be a major wind back tomorrow. So major. Sorry guys, I keep sliding back and forth on this road. It's a little wet. There's going to be a major wind back tomorrow. So Oklahoma City, down towards Wichita Falls, parts of I-40 in western Oklahoma, eastern Texas Panhandle, all the way over even to eastern Oklahoma, into North Texas, even the Dallas area might be kind of on the southern end of that threat. But there's going to be a major wind back tomorrow. Lots of energy. The energy in the atmosphere is about as strong as it can really get. The energy tomorrow is about 10 out of 10. So you're going to get some really powerful storms that develop extremely quickly as well. Good thing with the Thunder game happening, I believe tonight instead of tomorrow night. That's good. That would be a crazy situation if you had those storms coming through while the Thunder game was ending or beginning. With all the traffic and everything and all the people, that would be wild. But the Thunder game is tonight, and I think Oklahoma City's they're well clear tonight. So that'll just set the stage for tomorrow here. And I'm going to get out of these storms and onto I-44, and we'll figure out what to do from there. These storms are approaching I-44 here, so we'll be able to get out ahead of them and see what they're doing. The other one that we were on earlier that I said looked a lot better now, that storm has kind of weakened. So that storm's begun to weaken. That storm's begun to weaken, so I'm not worried about it dropping a tornado right now. The chase might not go on too much longer, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I-44 is kind of my route home, so I don't want to go too far. If there's a good-looking storm, of course, I'll keep chasing it, but I don't want to go too far away from 44 because then it'll just be unnecessary just to keep on getting farther away from my route home. But whoa, we're sliding big time up here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. We're sliding up here on these roads. These roads aren't too bad. You can go probably 50, 55 and be fine. But I'm sure if you're going like 70, you'd hydroplane, I'm sure. We got to blast through the core here of these storms. We're 6 miles from our interstate. So about 5 or 6 minutes here. Some clear air just out ahead of maybe we're gonna get out of the bigger core here. Or not, I don't know, but well, there's quite a bit of rain in front of me too, so we'll see. Yesterday, guys, when I was driving home yesterday, I went through Tulsa, and there was a car that hydroplaned in Tulsa, and it was flipped upside down. That's insane. And I don't know, it looked like everybody was okay. I'm not 100% sure. I'd maybe get to go look at the news or something, but it looked like everybody was okay, thank goodness, because the car was upside down. And, you know, they closed the road off, and there's about 8 police cars and 3 fire trucks and, you know, maybe an ambulance or something. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's a little bit overkill. That many law enforcement vehicles might be overkill. Of course, you do need multiple to like stop traffic and direct traffic and make sure no one's coming and things like that. But hopefully I have a decent connection here. We're now ahead of this rain core. We're still getting a little bit of rain, but we're ahead of the main core. You can see some cumulus out in front of these storms trying to pop up. Yesterday was a wild chase, and I apologize about the stream yesterday, guys. My home internet went out in the middle of my stream. It was very frustrating, but I had to call it there, and I just kind of chased the rest of the day just without it. I just was chasing. I didn't have a stream going the rest of the day. But for a while, we had a solid stream going yesterday. Some really cool, like, terrain. I mean, we were, like, in, like, this, like, canyon with all these plateaus. And we had a legit tornado warned supercell going right through a canyon. And you know, at that point, it didn't produce a tornado, but we had some incredible views yesterday on that stream. There's like these cows just grazing in this pasture in this canyon. It was all green, and there was plateaus. There was a cool mountain. I mean, it was probably the coolest place I've ever chased. It was definitely the coolest place I think I've ever chased. No, the storm didn't do a tornado for us, but it was certainly a cool place to chase. We're getting into this town here of St. James. Yes, that's the town. Getting into this town of St. James, and then honestly, guys, I'm probably going to go intercept these supercells here one last time. Intercept these supercells, and then after I intercept these supercells, I might just call it a day. I don't know. Maybe I'll hang out with, since I didn't get to talk to chat much, I might hang out with you guys for a little bit on my drive home or something. But yeah, interesting chase. The tornado threat, I don't want to say it can never happen the rest of the day, but I think that I think the peak for it was we're probably exiting the peak. I think the peak was probably 3 to 6, so. And it didn't quite materialize, but I think some of these storms got close to tornadoing. So there was a tornado risk. It didn't quite ever tornado, but I just cannot believe that the National Weather Service didn't even put out a 2%, risk for a tornado. Because this would have been the perfect 2% for tornadoes, kind of a very marginal chance, but there's still a chance for some tornadoes. We had some severe thunderstorm warnings get the tornado possible tag, so
stay in the right lane.
Sometimes on severe thunderstorm warnings, if they think there's a chance for a tornado, but it's not enough of a chance to issue a tornado warning, they'll just do a tornado possible tag on the severe warning. Go left at the next light. Okay. I've been through St. James a few times. I don't think I've ever gotten off of the interstate and actually stopped in St. James, but I've been through it on I-44. A couple of these towns, I've probably car camped in. There's been a few times I've chased in like Illinois and I was too tired to make it all the way back to Joplin, so I car camped in some of these towns over here. I can't remember. I've car camped in Rolla before, and then I've car camped in, can't remember. One of the towns that's a little bit to the northeast of here. We might go through it in a minute. I don't remember what the name is of this town, but I've been through this other town a few times.
Turn left.
Okay, now we're going to get a view of these stores. Hey, they don't look too bad, actually. So, well, this one back here doesn't look too bad. So maybe this is the one we want to be on. These ones up here. I want to see what these ones up here look like, actually, because we haven't got a chance to look at these. But I might turn around on the interstate real fast if I get a chance. If these don't look good up here, I might do a UE. But here's our storms right in front of us, and they don't look as hot over here, do they? Well, okay. We got to get a few more miles. We got to get a few more miles up the interstate. We got to get like 6 or 7 miles up the interstate, and I think these storms will have a little bit better structure up here. But they're trying to rotate still, and they're still trying to produce a tornado. Here you guys go. Here's what it looks like to our left. You can see the wall cloud there. We have a wall cloud. There's a little bit of a tail cloud. I'm going to the storm in front of me. We're leaving this store right here, but the store in front of me has a little bit better of rotation on it, so I'm just gonna go to the one with better rotation on it, but this one doesn't look too bad at all. Maybe I just turn around and just intercept this and just call it a day. I don't know. I don't think these are ever going to produce tornadoes at this point. If they were going to produce tornadoes, they would have done it a couple hours ago, but they don't look half bad at all. They don't look half bad at all. I don't know where the next spot, if I did want to turn around, I don't know where that'd be. I still do, I mean, these, oh, they kind of have this, I wouldn't say one has that much stronger rotation. I think this one up here did a minute ago, but probably at this next, wherever my next exit is, I'm probably just going to turn around and go intercept this other one. Probably just should have done that from the start. Ooh, not ideal. My next exit's in 5 miles, so guess what? We're not going to intercept this next one. I could technically do a U-turn, but it is illegal. You're not supposed to, so I'm not going to do the illegal. I'm not doing the illegal U-turn. If there was a tornado behind me, I probably would. If there's not a tornado behind me, it's not that big of a deal. I don't need to be on the storm. It's okay. We do. You could see you could see a little bit of a wall cloud. I don't know. I think I'd call that a wall cloud. That's where the rotation is, and some wall clouds are very weak, but this might be a little wall cloud here in front of me. Oh my gosh, crazy pothole here for this road. I did have to tape up the bottom of my car. I don't know if I have mentioned that yet on the stream, but my skid, what is it? I think my skid plate and my undercarriage under my bumper got all jacked up on the roads in Kansas the other day. They got all jacked up. So I had to do, I taped it all up tomorrow morning yesterday morning, sorry, I taped everything up, and it lasted me through the whole chase yesterday. We were on some nasty roads yesterday, so the fact that it lasted me the whole chase is impressive. But I taped that up, and then it came loose again last night on my drive home. So last night on or this morning before I headed out, I got all that taped up with the T-Rex tape, and if you ever need to tape anything up, T-Rex tape is your best option. It's the best kind of tape. It's better than duct tape. I don't know, it might be about the same as Gorilla. I think Gorilla tape is pretty good too. So I like T-Rex and Gorilla tape, but look at it, we have a little bit of rotation right here. It's kind of rain wrapped as well, but we do have a small area here of rotation there. A little rain wrapped in there, and it's very weak, but we do have a small area there. It's rotating. It's right in front of us. A little bit of a supercell here. Nice little supercell. Sorry, let me find the right zoom here. Playing around with some stuff. Yeah, but there's a little wall cloud right there. There's a little wall cloud right there on the left. You can see the inflow. You can see a small little inflow tail right in front of me. See this inflow tail right here, and then you got a little bit of a wall cloud maybe on the left. You know, very, very weak rotation, obviously, but it's there. It's definitely there. So, but I think what plagued it today is, I think these storms had the right environment to kind of spin and do stuff. I think what really plagued these storms is the mid-level lapse rates were just a little bit too weak. Just a little bit too weak there on the mid-level lapse rates. So that's what really plagued these. But we have a legit supercell here. Right here we have a legit supercell. There's a tiniest bit of rotation under that. I mean, it's really not much, guys, but there's a little bit. on rotation. So I'm just going to sit at this exit and we're going to watch this thing and let it pass over us probably. It was a fun little chase. Hindsight, I don't think it was worth. I really don't think it was worth like driving all night last night just to chase this one. But like, you really never know what things are gonna look like. So I feel like you just have to take your chance and just see what happens. Let me find a spot to. Well, let's see if I can find a spot to park the car here. Probably find a little spot right here. But yeah, a little weak wall cloud here and very weakly rotating wall cloud. There we go. And we'll watch this thing for a minute here and then we'll probably get back behind the storm and I'm assuming that we could get another rainbow. Could get another PDS rainbow. Yeah, just a little bit of rotation there, huh? It is rotating, isn't it? Now, it's not going to produce a tornado. At least I don't think. But it is rotating there. The rotation on that St. James storm is a little bit stronger, and it's crossing the road in a few minutes, so I'm going to relocate to St. James. And we're going to hit that storm here and then we're going to be on our way back home. There's our other storm to the south. We're watching it right here. It's got a little bit stronger rotation now. I probably should have just stayed on that one. But it didn't have, this one over here had stronger rotation about 5 or 10 minutes ago. So that was the thinking there. Oh no. Oh no. You're in the left lane going slower than the right lane, man. That's not good. That's not what the left lane for. That's not what the left lane is for, man. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. You got it. Come on. There you go. You got it. This is the passing lane for Amanda. It's not the passing lane for him, I guess. There you go. Okay, there you go. He got over. So that's good. I won't hold him against it because he did get over. So that's what you're supposed to do. You did a good job. I have pretty. My tires are pretty good on this car, so I'm not overly worried about hydroplaning. But we gotta be careful just in case. We might go over. This rotation might go over the road as we get on. It literally may go over the road as we get on. We gotta blast through this core here. It's going over the road right now. We might have missed it by a couple minutes. heavy storm right here. We're going right through the storm. I think I can see the bowl cloud just to my left. Yeah, it's a really, really heavy rain. Wow. Really heavy. With how heavy that rain is and how bright the sun is, we might get another crazy rainbow. It's very possible here. We might get another crazy rainbow here. How bright the sun is. We'll see. I don't have visual of the rotation anymore. Well, that's right there. I'm on the west side of the storm right now. My St. James exit is coming up right here. So take that. A mile and a half. We might not get back. I mean, if we get back ahead of this thing, like we're gonna be in the forest, we're gonna lose connection. So we might just kind of watch it go away. I'm not gonna watch it go off into the sunset. Economy Inn. I've never stayed at the Economy Inn before. Well, it was a solid little storm chase today. I think for what we got, I think we did what we could here. For what we got, we did what we could. That Supercell actually still looks solid, doesn't it? Oh, okay. I don't know, like, if we can even get a view of it, even if we catch it. Like, if we like, we have one road and it goes, like, over a lake. Like, I don't even think we can get a good view of it. I might try. No. Okay, we're not getting a view of this thing. Our road that we have literally goes through a dense forest. So, you know, there's not much we can do at this point to get a view of that part of the storm that's rotating, so... I gotta lock in for tomorrow too, so I gotta get home and get some sleep, guys, and lock in for this chase tomorrow. Gotta lock in for that chase tomorrow. Look at those big old cracks right there, my goodness. We'll pull off into one of these parking lots up here and we'll watch the storm go off to the southeast. And, I mean, this thing, it still has a threat for a very, you know, brief tornado or something like that. But, I mean, there's a chance. There is a chance still, so. There's a chance. I wouldn't totally totally rule it out, but it's obviously a pretty slim chance here. Oh my! I find a spot to look at this thing and look at these trees right here. There's so many trees. Let's see if I can
turn left onto Jefferson Street.
right here. Do not block alley.
Jefferson Street.
Great. That's what I was trying to do. You can see the tail. You can see the storm right here. Look at this. I mean, it's supercell still. You can see this tail cloud. This is inflow feeding into the storm right here, and then your wall cloud is going to be blocked by rain in these trees. We're not going to be able to see the wall cloud because it's going to be blocked off, but you can see the inflow really feeding into this thing. There's a lot of inflow feeding into this storm still. Makes me wonder if I should keep chasing it, but like I said, it's just logistically, like to logistically keep chasing this thing. I'll show you guys. It's actually logistically like almost impossible. Yeah, I mean it's not gonna happen, is it? The rotation on it's getting pretty strong, but it's weakening. So this like look at my road. Look at this. That's where I'd have to chase Merrimack Spring Park and down to the Indian Trail Conservation Area. Like this is just no roads here, hills, trees. I mean it would be. This is what we were chasing in earlier. See, and there's kind of you can see a lot of trees there, but there's a lot of breaks. I mean, there's a lot of trees there, but look at all the breaks in the trees. See, we had some breaks in the trees, and then down here, where the storm is going. I mean, this is you got a couple breaks in the trees over here, but the storm is going to go in a different direction. You don't have much. You just have dense forest, and every now and again you'll get a valley, and I might be able to get service. And the problem is the valleys have mountains around them, so I just am not going to be able to get a view of this thing. So that's the main reason I'm going to go ahead and stop chasing the storm, is I'm just not going to get a view of it. So, but I'm going to go ahead and start looking at some chat, guys. I'm sorry, I missed all the chats today, and appreciate everybody for tuning in. Tuning in and sticking with, if you stuck with me through the service holes and everything. And you have to see that park though if you like the outdoors. Okay, I've never been to that state park. Should I try it? There's no road, it's just trees. I know, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. If you sent me a super chat and I missed your super chat, I really am sorry. If you sent me anything, super chat or anything like that, just please let me know so I can address that, because I have not even looked at the chat because I've been busy driving all these hills and curves. So but I'm going to let you guys... What's up, guys? How's it going? Merrimack Springs, yeah. Guys, I'm going to stick in the chat here for just a little bit longer. I'm not far from Rolla, so maybe I'll drive down to Rolla. But here's the thing. I'm going to start heading towards home because I'll show you guys. I'm actually going to show you guys what we're looking at for tomorrow quick here. Let me show you guys tomorrow here what we're looking at for the threat tomorrow. Let's see. There's also a threat tomorrow in Virginia, but I'm not going to do that. I think the smart thing would not to be going to Virginia. But it actually looks like a pretty decent threat over there, which usually does not happen. Come on. Can I get internet here? I could get enough internet to stream. Okay, I'm trying to look at these models here. See if I can get internet. Okay. So Oklahoma, Texas, you're all under the gun tomorrow. This is just one model of what it could look like. So don't take this to heart. Guys, let's see. Okay, yeah, don't take this to heart, but here you go. You have stuff that tries to fire early at like noon. You already have stores trying to fire, and then like you have a few supercells initially, and then look at this. It just all congeals into a big line. And you have some stuff try to go ahead of the line. That's what I would probably try to target, is anything like this down here that goes like ahead of the line. I might even target up into Missouri. Like I might even target just up here in the Missouri. Might do that, target Southeast Kansas. I'm going to have to look at it some more, but that could be a target as well. I want to show you guys the other run of this HRRR model. Let's see. For tomorrow. Sorry about the shaky phone here. And so this run holds off convection until 3 p.m. And then look at this. You have multiple supercells, though, that try to fire up. One on the Cap Rock. Have another one in Oklahoma. And then you have several trying to go up in Missouri. And then look, these supercells get eaten up into the line. But as they get eaten up into the line, they may have a tornado threat, an enhanced tornado threat. And look at that. Look at that squall line. That is just a monster squall line there. OKC, Ardmore, Lawton, Wichita Falls, DFW, Weatherford. Just nasty. And then it kind of moves off and weakens overnight. So that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. And we'll have to figure out where the heck we're going to chase. But, you know, I can get home here by, you know, I could probably get home. Rolla. I'm probably about 3 hours from home. I could get home by 9:30, get to bed at a decent time, get a good night's sleep here, and that'll be nice. But I'm going to go ahead and leave the stream on until I get to, like, the Rolla area. And then we will probably end it at some point. But I'm going to hang out with some of you guys in the chat and we'll just talk about random stuff, or I don't know if you guys have any questions about weather stuff especially, or just anything, honestly. I'll talk about anything. You guys know this. I'll talk about anything if you've been on here before. I'll talk about anything other than probably politics. I'm probably not going to talk about politics on a stream. But, or like anything, obviously, that's not like appropriate too. I mean, but anything else. So we got some cool clouds. I mean, we still got some cool clouds above us too. So I'll talk about almost anything else though, except for those two things. And this is a family-friendly channel. We keep it family friendly, and you know, that sounds cringy or whatever, but you know, I like to keep it that way. You never know who's watching. Try to spread joy and, you know, good vibes. But we're gonna head down towards the Rolla area. I don't even know how far we are. Oh, we're 6 miles from Rolla. Okay. Well, or 8 miles. Well, if we're 8 miles from Rolla, I don't want to end it in like 10 minutes, so we'll probably go just a little bit further. Maybe we'll go down to like St. Roberts. Probably go down to St. Roberts. So I'll be live for the next half hour. I'll be live for about a half an hour, guys, and then we'll wrap things up and get ready for tomorrow. But I appreciate everybody tuning in here, and it's Evan and Kiefer from the Wreck. Oh, #1 fans. Heck yeah, dude. #1 fans there, Evan and Kiefer. Chaminade. No, I don't just give out my stream for free. But I appreciate you asking, man. It's possible, if you want, talk about it in like a DM. I'm not totally opposed to letting someone use it for free, but usually I wouldn't. It is gorgeous out here. We got nice. We got the sun popping out here, and like I said, we're on our way back to Joplin. You found me through Max. Thank you so much. Heck yeah, I love Max. On our way back to Joplin here, and these supercells are moving into an unchaseable terrain, and they're kind of falling apart anyway. So there's not much left to chase. So I'm just gonna run the stream for another half hour or so, guys, and we'll hang out on here, and we'll go through Rolla, and then we'll go through. We'll hit about St. Roberts or Waynesville and call it a day. But honestly, the best thing about today was that rainbow. That was incredible. That rainbow. I don't know how many of you guys were in the chat and on the stream to see that rainbow, but that was quite impressive. I've never seen a rainbow like that. I've seen a lot of rainbows, dozens and dozens, storm chasing, but never one quite like that. That one was different. Just so vibrant and so close. It was like, a lot of times you'll see them arc up very high. You'll see like the high arcing rainbow. This one was very low arcing, close to the horizon. So it was incredibly vibrant and bright because it was literally right there. At one point, the rainbow was literally feet in front of us. Like, I feel like if I took my arm out of the car, I could probably reach out and touch the rainbow. Driving through the Ozarks here. This is my home state of Missouri. If you didn't know, I'm from Missouri. I love Missouri. I think it has a little bit of a charm to it that some other states around it don't quite have. I love a lot of the states in the U.S. Honestly, pretty much every state I've visited, I've liked. There's a couple states, maybe not, or a couple. I think every state has its good parts and its bad parts, obviously, and Missouri definitely has its bad parts. I'm well aware, but I think Missouri has a nice charm to it. The one state I really didn't like was Mississippi. So I didn't really love Mississippi. That wasn't my favorite. And I've been through many different parts of Mississippi too, and it's not my favorite. So out of all the states I've visited, probably Mississippi's the one that I didn't like. I don't know, drop in the chat, what's your favorite state? Let me know. What's your guys' favorite state to visit? Maybe you live in that state, I don't know. Maybe your favorite state to live in, visit. I don't know. Go drop it in the chat and let me know. My favorite state to visit, I don't even know. Probably wherever I see the most tornadoes, so that's Oklahoma. I've had the best tornado luck in Oklahoma, so that might be my favorite state to visit. But if I was going to go on like vacation, gosh, probably one of those states out west to like go camp or hike. I haven't been to enough of them. I've been to Colorado. I've been camping and hiking in Colorado. I've been through New Mexico quite a bit. New Mexico's an underrated state, I think. It's definitely got its rough parts, but I think just terrain and geography, I think New Mexico's a really cool state to be in. Wyoming, I've been through the eastern plains of Wyoming. I've never been up into the Rockies. That part, but the plains of Wyoming are just gorgeous. So if the plains of Wyoming are gorgeous, I bet the mountainous part is as well. I've never been to Montana. Like some of these states I got to get out to. Montana, Utah, never been. Idaho, never been. Oregon, no. Never been to Oregon. California, no. Arizona, I've been briefly to Arizona. So I got to get out west, guys. I got to get out west. I've been to Washington briefly, but I think I was in like kindergarten probably, so I have no, memory of Washington State. I've been to Washington, D.C., and it's really cool to see all the stuff in Washington. What is happening with these trucks up here? My goodness. It's really cool to see all the stuff with all the trucks and stuff in Washington, or not trucks. Man, these trucks up here got me thinking of trucks. All the monuments and history in Washington, D.C. is pretty cool, but as far as the city itself, it's okay. I do think it's cool that Washington, D.C. doesn't have any skyscrapers, because obviously no building can be taller than the Washington Monument. I believe that no building can be taller than the Washington Monument. Someone can fact check me on that one, but so all your building, you don't have skyscrapers there. It's kind of like interesting, because a big city that size, you usually have skyscrapers. You don't have skyscrapers in DC, so very interesting. We're coming in the Raleigh here, so I probably need to slow down just a little bit. The last thing I'd want is to get a ticket. That's a really nice medical center, man. It's pretty cool. Raleigh is definitely a growing area. I don't know how fast it's growing, but it's not shrinking. Some of the areas and some of the towns here are kind of. Raleigh is definitely on the growing side of things. Nice folk in Arkansas, upstate New York, New Mexico is beautiful. These chats here. I'm gonna read some of these chats. Please stop at Love's and do a food review. Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Corpus. What? Nicest people are in Kansas. Okay. Kansas. I mean, I've been to Kansas plenty of times. Been to Kansas plenty of times, and the people there are about as nice as any other state. But yeah, I'm sure Kansas has some pretty nice people. And what a nice day outside behind these storms. It's about 80 degrees. It's about 80 degrees and sunny. It's a nice day. This area's gotten so much rain and thunderstorms lately. All of the plains have. New York City. I've been to New York City one time. It's okay. Like, it's fun to visit for a couple of days, but if I was in New York City more than a couple of days, I might go crazy. It's just too many people for me. I like to be spread out. I don't want to live in the middle of nowhere, but I also don't want to live in massive metropolitan areas. So that's what I would prefer. Nice people in Lebanon and Springfield. I'm going to be going through Lebanon and Springfield this evening. After I wrap up the stream, I'll probably hit Lebanon in about an hour, maybe a little less, maybe like 45 minutes. I'll hit Lebanon. The Uranus factory in there one time, but Uranus Fudge Factory is definitely like a stopping point on 44. Go to Buc-ee's. Yeah, Buc-ee's is okay. I'm not a big fan of Buc-ee's. I'll tell you guys Buc-ee's is very nice, but the thing about Buc-ee's is people at the Buc-ee's. There's the Buc-ee's billboard on the left right there, but there's too many people at the Buc-ee's. So when I want to get gas, like I want to just get in, I want to get out. I don't want to go to like a mini mall. But I will say, if you ever need a clean bathroom, I mean, you want a clean bathroom, Buc-ee's is where you're going to get a clean bathroom. Very, very clean bathrooms there at Buc-ee's, and they have good food options. I think it's a little overpriced, but hey, I mean, that's what they can charge. People will buy it, and they can charge that price. So good for Buc-ee's. They're making a lot of money. Buc-ee's is good too. I like Buc-ee's. They pay their employees pretty well. I know if you go work at Buc-ee's, you get paid pretty decently compared to other gas stations. So anytime some corporation pays their employees well, usually the employees put a little bit more effort into things. And I mean, that when any job that I've had, I put a little bit more effort into the job if I'm getting paid more, so it makes sense. Now the sun is really coming out here. Really sunny back behind this this little system right here. Buc-ee's is the devil. Went to one in Alabama and was amazed. Yeah. Clean bathrooms, man. Like you can count on the Buc-ee's to have the clean bathrooms. So you gotta love Uranus Fudge Factory. It's okay. It's pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of different kinds of candy. It's in 60 miles here. I don't think I'm gonna make it all the way to Uranus Fudge Factory on the stream, but like I said, we're probably gonna go about 20 more minutes or so, and then we'll wrap things up. I don't want to keep you guys on here. I don't want to keep on here too long without a storm. Taos? I've been to Taos, New Mexico. Taos, New Mexico is an awesome place. I would go back to Taos in a heartbeat. I love Taos, New Mexico. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's not the armpit of New Mexico. It's definitely the nicer part. So that too. Keys, Florida. Wow. Keys, Florida. Wow. That's way down there, all the way south. I mean, you're getting close to Cuba. At that point, you're getting close to Cuba. Maybe I'll go to Keys, Florida. The only reason I'd probably ever go to Keys is to chase a hurricane. But one of these days, I'll be down there to chase a hurricane or something like that. It might be another active hurricane season. What is it? The hurricane something, or the national hurricane? I don't know what it's called, but the whatever government branch covers hurricanes. Maybe it might just be the National Weather. Well, the National Weather Service does, of course, but like, oh gosh, what is it called? The National Hurricane something. I don't know. Whatever covers hurricanes, they're calling for an active year. So that's something to keep in mind, is that it could be a little bit more active hurricane-wise. Tropical cyclones. You're not far from Cuba, Missouri, yeah. It's a nice day outside. Let's see, I'm gonna stop in Waynesville or St. Roberts. Where's the Uranus Fudge Factory? Isn't that in like Lebanon? Is that right? Am I wrong about that, or is that in Lebanon? nice day out here, man. I wish I didn't have to drive home. I wish I could have went to Merrimack Cabins. I guess I could have. But it's a gorgeous day out here. We're at the point in the year where it has not gotten super hot yet. So every year is different. Sometimes at this point in the year it's very hot, but so far we've avoided the extreme heat. We've avoided the extreme heat. Got some nice hills right here. I think the hottest it's probably gotten this year, I don't even know if it's gotten to 90. It's definitely gotten into the upper 80s a couple times, but I don't even think it's gotten to 90 yet. And I think it's gonna be a pretty warm summer. Maybe hot summer, I guess is the right word. Summer's more hot than warm, but it's gonna be hot in the middle of the country. But it might wait until later in June or like July. So I do think eventually July, August, we're going to get into that classic summer pattern where it gets very hot, dry. You get that heat dome. Maybe we'll get some nice storms up in like the northern plains, Canada, the Great Lakes. But we'll be in that heat dome. Down here in Missouri, we'll be in that heat dome. 20-minute Lebanon. I might be a little closer to Lebanon or maybe a little farther than 20 minutes, but warm weather beach. I like the beach. I mean, I prefer I really prefer the mountains, but you can't go wrong with either one. Like if you stuck me on the beach, I'd be happy. I like the beach. Now, I've only ever actually been to the beach one time to like actually go to the beach. You know, I've only been vacationing on the beach one time. I've been alive. I'm 21 years old. I've been vacationing on the beach one time. Otherwise, I've been to the beach several times to chase hurricanes. You guys could probably find this back on my channel somewhere, but we chased a snowstorm. We chased a snowstorm in Florida. So I was literally on the beach and there was a snowstorm. That so far, that's been my biggest stream ever on the channel. That was my biggest ever stream, was that Florida snowstorm. Since then, I have not had a stream that topped that one. That was my biggest. Eventually, we'll get one that tops it. I hope. There's a town up here called Devil's Elbow. Devil's Elbow. Oh my gosh, that's scary. I wonder if there's some kind of like geographical feature that's like that somebody named Devil's Elbow, and then they just named the town. It's not really much of a town. It's the tiniest town. I don't even know how many people. Right on this river. I bet that town floods pretty bad. I don't even know how many people live in Devil's Elbow, but it's a thing. Imagine your town having devil in the name. That'd be creepy. Okay, this is why. Okay, it's because I looked at it. It's because the river, the way that the river curves, it curves like an elbow. So they just named the town Devil's Elbow because of the way the river curves. It's actually not even. I don't even know if it's a city. It's an unincorporated community. Unincorporated community near. It's not far from St. Roberts. I'm gonna stop off the exit and Waynesville here in about 10 minutes or so, and we'll go ahead and shut things down. But, so I'm here for about 10 more minutes, guys. We're just hanging out for about 10 more minutes. All those storms over, getting towards St. Louis. Some of them are still rotating pretty good, actually. But there's a nice mini supercell in the Ozarks, south of St. Louis. Really, I mean, I'd love to be on it, but I really don't even think it's chaseable with how the terrain. I'm about 155 miles away from Joplin, so I'm about 2 hours from home. About 2 hours from home, so not bad at all. About 2 hours here from home. I can get home by 8:45. I might have to get gas one more time, but I'm close. I think I finally have some service right here. Sorry, I lost service for just a few minutes there, y'all, but I'm still going to be on here for a few more minutes. Lost service for just a couple of minutes here, and hope everyone's doing good. I'm going to check the chat. Oh, I still have 8 more miles until I'm stopping, so I'll be on here for about 8 minutes or so. Missouri didn't show us a whole lot. Yeah, I agree. It didn't show us a whole lot, did it? No, Missouri did not show us a whole lot. It's okay. It's okay. Next time it might. Missouri was just a little bit shy today. I think it got shy, and it just didn't show us a whole lot today, did it? I'm tired though, guys. So after the chase yesterday, I drove back home. I got home at about 4:15 a.m. It was very, very late. I got home at about 4:15, and bed, woke up around 10 in the morning, and then left to come chase this. So I've been all over. Like, I've literally been either sleeping or in the car for the past 28, 30 hours. Because I drove all day yesterday chasing. So I've literally been either sleeping or in the car. So I have not had much of a chance to just kind of relax. The grind is real. The grind is definitely real here. So man, feeling it today, guys. That's why I kind of just wanted to get home here. And the storm, there's still a good storm all the way south of St. Louis, but I've been south of St. Louis before, and it's not a fun spot to be if you're trying to chase a storm. I actually tried to chase a storm down there one time, and it might have been the most miserable experience I think I've ever had. It was horrible. South of St. Louis is awful. It was not fun. I wonder how that storm is doing over in New Mexico. It might be over in Texas by now. Right on the New Mexico-Texas border, that storm is. Well, I'm gonna pull off here in a couple minutes and shut things down, but I had fun today, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in here. I think we didn't get any tornadoes, but I think we were right. I think we had the right idea to come chase this setup, because if the lapse rates were just slightly better, I think we would have had some tornadoes today. So I think we definitely had the right idea. As far as chasing goes. And my car is definitely hot. I gotta get this air running here. It got hot once we got away from the clouds and into the sun. There we go. We have 4 bars of service now. I think the rest of the way I should have pretty good service. I don't think there's too many more lapses from Waynesville on. I'm gonna pull off of the road here. Shut this thing down. Oh man, tornado threat didn't quite pan out, but I don't think these storms were too far off from producing a couple of tornadoes. I think a couple times they got close. There's still one by St. Louis. I'll show you guys. There's still a storm by St. Louis trying to produce a tornado right now, south of St. Louis. And it's trying hard to produce a tornado. You can see all that. See that red and green right there? See that red and green rotation? It's trying hard to produce a tornado there. In the Ozarks, west of Festus maybe. But they tried. But we had a difficult chase, and I knew this would be a difficult chase with the terrain and everything and the service. For a while there, I think we lost service for about 20, 30 minutes. It was pretty bad, but yeah, guys. Hey, thank you for tuning in, everybody. The rainbow was crazy. And on that note, I will see you guys tomorrow. We almost have 500 likes. So if you have not liked the stream, like the stream. Let's get to 500 likes. I think we can do it. If we don't do it right now, I think we'll get it done after the fact. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And I will see you.